What is going on, guys? I am back with another video. Today is Sunday, so that means it is Guild Wars Day. So I'm going to go through and check my crests, change the few that I do want. I think Ares is the only one I really need to change. Let me get the revive on him, and I already got my artifacts done, so let's get right into this. So we don't have any high might teams, any in the top 5, so this should be a pretty easy Guild Wars. See a 186 there and a 193 there, so I'm going to have to go across a couple guilds to get my attacks, but we'll start with the highest one, the 206, and I see he's got an Artica in there, a Vlad, an SK, so pretty much a normal standard defense except maybe the Artica. He looks like he does have a side shield on that Ares, so I will run at the bottom down here. So I'm going to catch his Ares timing, and then I'm going to drop my Warlock and then my Cupid. And I'm pretty much going to bank on Skull Knight doing a little bit of work in the center right here. So I know they're going to die. I'm not going to drop my mage on this, so I kind of go back and forth. On some of them I do, and on some of them I don't. So I do see my Skull Knight is still tanking in the middle, but he finally died. It took him quite a while to die. It looks like I got his Golem dead as well, so that's a good start. Do have his Golem dead, so it's just that SK really. The other two will probably die before they even get there, and they did, so this should be a pretty easy cleanup, and there it goes. Skull Knight takes out the other SK. So I do like that I got to up my Skull Knight to 10 of 10, so he is completely maxed now, and I seen today as I was doing my attacks that the 10 of 10 really helps, so I definitely recommend if you're going to use my method to up your SK, because SK is pretty much my vial point on who I'm using and who I want him to take out. So doing pretty good. Let's move on to the second one. I see he does have some side shields again on Dread Drake and Ares, and I know he's got an Ares totem right here, so I'm dropping these little guards to get rid of that Ares proc. So when my Skull Knight walks in, I have no problem. I'm dropping to the right so the Ares does not come across. So you'll see he goes to the right, he pulls out the SK. The SK does not get hit by his Calamity, so it looks like I probably won't kill that SK right away. I still have all of them dropped. My Warlock is doing some damage, so that's good. My Skull Knight did die, so I'm just going to let them die, and I'm going to let them keep proccing. Hopefully they drop quite a few heroes. It looks like they're already doing big damage, so yeah, there goes another one, and his Ares is gone too. So it's pretty much just down to his Dread Drake, or I'm sorry, his Skull Knight and his Golem, so not much here, and his Golem's almost dead. So looking around, and I got to drop my Trinitar at the top. So we're going to drop him up here, let him revive, and that should pretty much wrap it up. And he's going to come up, and do I get the Ares Calamity? I do, so that Skull Knight has no chance at that point. So it gets rid of him, and then I will speed it up, drop my Spirit Mage, and let him do work like I usually always do. And that's another 515 points. So let's go on to the next one. This one is the 200,000. His name is Hector. I see he's got some more side shields as well. A lot of side shields lately, I see. So they must be releasing those a little bit more. So I'm going to drop my mage this time. I'm using all 5 just because I don't want to mess with all the side shields. I want their heroes to die when I go for them. So you see a few of them are dropped already. The biggest thing is the Valentina, because I can't run my Skull Knight in and get the Ares Calamity with the Valentina out there. So I'm at 14%. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my Skull Knight in, let him go start tanking over there, and he gets dropped, but it doesn't even matter. He actually double one-shots that SK. That right there is the showing of what a 10 of 10 can do, because he has never done that for me before. So I'm just going to wait until he dies. He goes pretty well. At least he took out the SK. That's the biggest thing. That one shot surprised me actually when I seen it, because a double one shot just back to back, that's got to be demoralizing if you ever seen that. So SK walks in, and now it's down to the Dread Drake, and I speed this up because this goes for a while. It's just one-on-one, and eventually my Skull Knight takes out the Dread Drake, and he's got to go one person at a time. So I sped it up really quick to get it through, and we're going to move on to the next one so it's not so boring. So it's basically the same drop. I am dropping my Mage again and my Cupid all at the same time, so that way when they go off, hopefully he hits and kills heroes just like that, and I'm still only at 11%, so I'm doing good as far as my mage hitting heroes and not hitting buildings, so, or he's not strong enough to destroy buildings, which is okay as well. I'm perfectly fine with that. So I just pretty much let them snipe, and just like that, all his heroes are dead from the mage proc. So everyone but a Dread Drake. He's not walking through my Skull Knight with a Dread Drake, especially with Trinitar behind it. So I'm going to drop my Skull Knight, let him walk in after he destroys those buildings. The Dread Drake will go over, I'll drop my Trinitar, and just like that, Skull Knight will walk through the base, and that pretty much ends it. So that's 503 on that base. So let's go on to the next. And this one's for $4.99. This is going to be the last one. I dropped my Ares and my Warlock, my Cupid, let them snipe a little bit, take a few out. I didn't want to use my Spirit Mage this time. And as soon as they do, drop my Skull Knight in, and I see his Valentina is still alive. Now she's dead. They're still under Calamity. My Skull Knight is still tanking, so that's good. I do see, once I see the Golem proc go off, I pretty much assume my Skull Knight's gonna die, and or he's not gonna be able to, you know, kill any of the heroes, especially with a Golem proc. So I drop my Trinitar in the bottom corner. My Skull Knight is still tanking, which is unbelievable. I get the Calamity proc, and he goes through, and now they're pretty much done. That's gonna one-shot the rest. And there he goes, and where's the Golem? And the Golem is dead. So, drop the Mage and the cleanup. So that was a pretty easy. Skull Knight was tanking forever, otherwise I would have made that a little bit harder. So that's going to finish this base up. Drop the troops at the bottom, get rid of that, and that's $4.99. So let's see how many points I did. I got 2549. Looks like we're in first place by about 14,000. That'll probably jump a lot more by the end of the day. I'm 10th right now. I know I'll drop down to about 20th by the time this is done. So hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys liked it. If you can like, comment, and subscribe, it'd be appreciated. And I am out.